How to render your painting like a pro.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be sharing my personal insight and taking you through the first part of my artistic journey. So the picture on the screen that you guys see is an artwork that is made by one of my students, which named Nicholas1564 on Instagram. So I'm going to put his Instagram account on the link below. While the character design is appealing, somehow there's something that is a little bit off. If I saw it for the first time, it seems like the lighting lacks impact and direction, which result in a very muddy appearance and quite a lack of unity and harmony. Okay, so the first thing that I would do to render this character is to find the main light source. I usually think this illustration had a 3D space and then like one light source which I could like orbit around the character. I highly recommend it for beginners to start with one simple lighting before moving on to the second lighting. This makes the process less overwhelming, so the students doesn't have the pressure to achieve this splash art like painting. If you guys are having a hard time deciding which light source to put on the illustration, I highly recommend it to just open a 3D software and play around with the placement of the lighting, creating the shadow. So I immediately added a multiply layer on my Photoshop in order to apply the shadow onto the character. When I sculpt the shape of the shadow, I envision the directional light hitting one side of the character, which creates a shadow on the opposite side. So I don't use any reference, and this process is highly intuitive for me. So most of my shadow shape is just me relying on my instinct to give the character a sense of dimensionality. Just remember that lighting your characters was not all about accuracy and details. You can still make a really good painting even though the shadow and the light are slightly wrong scientifically. The purpose of lighting is to deliver an impact as well as making the character more believable, not scientifically accurate. Okay, so we already take care towards the shadow side. Now, if we wanted to make the character to have an extra sense of realism, is to make a variety of tones on the light side. We call this process adding the highlights. By adding the highlights, I create an overlay layer and set my brush to the highest value. This allows me to create a brighter tone of color that pops from the midtones. This is because the highlight is a part of the plane that is directly facing the light source. In my opinion, this part is by far the most challenging in my overall painting process. So if you can see on the video, there's a lot of trial and error on this stage. Okay, moving on towards the next process, adding another light source. If you look at the current image, it already looks great overall, but we can make it more flashy and dynamic. To achieve this, I wanted to add a lighting effect called the rim light. So the rim light is part of the lighting that creates a sharp striking silhouette that makes the character more dynamic. This rim light effect is typically used on movie sets and a lot of sport poster that creates a striking visual imagery. Since this character looks like a fighter that's about to whoop someone's ass, I think this lighting is very suitable for him. Okay, moving on to details. Okay, so this is one of the beginner's favorite part, which is rendering or details. I recommend to start detailing with the part that will be the main focus of the painting. For this specific piece, I decided to render the face first, as we humans are naturally drawn to faces when we meet someone new. And for this part is actually where I search a lot of reference on Pinterest, because it's impossible to add specific details based only from our own imagination. If you guys cannot find a suitable reference on the internet, you guys could just find a props on your home and take a picture on your desired lighting, framing, and angle. I believe details with the right intention can be a powerful tool, but details itself is actually quite overrated. Without the right fundamentals such as lighting, anatomy, perspective, and composition, the details would be meaningless. I tend to think details as the cherry on top. You can always decorate the cake as much as you want, but at the end of the day, the base of the cake is what matters the most. And there you have it. That's how you render your painting like a pro. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave a comment below with any question or suggestion for future videos. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next one.